Hi, I'm Craig at Special Fork, and today we are talking about garlic, the ubiquitous thing that goes in almost everything that you cook, at least savory stuff. So here we have a head of garlic. That's something that a lot of people argue about. Is it a clove? Is it a head? Well, the big guy is the head. So if your recipe calls for 3 cloves, don't put 3 of these in your recipe. The cloves are all inside the head, and they're wrapped in what we call parchment. So the first thing to do is get that parchment off to use our garlic. We've got to get to the cloves. And so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to throw the whole head in a cloth like this and just wrap it up. This way it doesn't explode on me when I do this. And that's going to break up the parchment on the outside of it. And I'm going to try and get all that off without making too much of a mess. And then each individual clove has its own parchment on it as well. So as I break these cloves out, we're going to need to get that off, and that's what everybody hates doing. That's the tedious part of the garlic that you have to use every single day. So here we go, a few cloves. And that's a big one. Alrighty. So first thing we want to do is get that paper off the cloves. I like to cut the ends of the cloves off. I find that it makes it a little bit easier, not only to peel them, but also the ends oftentimes are quite bitter, so we don't want those in our food anyway. The traditional way of doing this that everybody's done for probably thousands of years is with the flat side of the knife. You want to crack that clove. That makes the paper a lot easier to get off. So I'm just going to hit it with the flat side of my palm like this. And we don't want to mush it too much, but that makes the paper a lot easier to get off. That is the classic way of getting the paper off. Another way to do it is with a silicone rubber tube. You can find these just about anywhere. And I think they work fantastically and pretty easily. So I'm going to put some pressure on it and hear it crack, and then just give it a shuffle like that, and look at that. Out pops a nicely peeled clove. Oh, we got a whole bunch out of that one. So that's a really nice technique. Now once we've got them all peeled, we want to use them for our food. And there's a whole bunch of different ways to put it into your food. Larger cloves, I have some peeled over here. Larger cloves are for things like slow cooking, where we want the oils to leach out slowly. So we just want to let the oil release a little bit. So we're going to give it a little bit more of a crush, just like that. And that's going to go well in our food. Plus also you can pull those out of your food. The next step would be slicing. And obviously that's just like it sounds. We're going to get nice even slices, hopefully. So you got your sliced garlic. It looks pretty. And then, of course, dicing. Now, diced garlic, I like to use a smaller knife, because obviously it's quite small, I want to be able to get that knife in between my fingers. It's a little bit more difficult with the large chef's knife. So, here we go. I'm going to cut a bunch of little downward slices like this, lengthwise. And even sometimes you can go one like this. And now, we get a dice. So there's our diced garlic. And the next stage down, even smaller, is minced garlic. And I actually like to take back to my chef's knife here. And we're just going to go as quick as we can and make it even smaller. So we're going even smaller down from a dice. And as you do that, you're going to head towards minced garlic. Now, from minced garlic, you can get even smaller and actually make yourself garlic paste. And there's a really neat little trick to doing that. Let me show you. Got some kosher salt here. Just going to sprinkle a bunch of that on there. So, of course, if you're using this trick and you're putting it into your food, don't salt the food because it's in your garlic. And I'm going to take the flat of the knife again and just kind of shuffle that around in the salt. And as you work, we'll put a little bit more. And the salt helps to break down the garlic. And you see what we start to end up with is a garlic paste. And this paste is fantastic to put into your food because it's going to dissolve really easily into your food. But also, you could spread it on bread. Makes great for garlic bread. But also, just on crostini or whatever, spread it on them, toss them in the oven. Delicious. It's fantastic. One final trick that sort of emulates our knife work here is a garlic mandolin. It's a little mini mandolin. We toss a clove in here, and on one side it'll give me perfect little slices of garlic. Look at that. Gorgeous. On the other side, I can flip it around like so. Oopsie. Like that. Toss another clove in. And on this side, instant minced garlic. There we go. So now we have minced garlic without the knife work. So, for more tips and ideas, go to on your smartphone, go to specialfork.com.